Welcome to Forged in the Fires podcast with Fireman Rob. Being a fireman, father, veteran, husband, world record holder, and Ironman, he brings stories of experience to impact your life while challenging you to live it. What do you want from your life? Why do you want it? Are you willing to go through the challenges to get there? If you have the courage to take that first step, let this podcast be the catalyst to start your fire while you bring the resilience to make it continue to burn. Our lives are made up of moments called right nows. So let's get started. Forged in the Fires podcast with your host, Fireman Rob, begins now.
All right, welcome back to Forged in the Fires podcast. I'm your host, Fireman Rob. Today's guest, I have to say, is one of those guys that I look up to because he has done Ironman Kona in his gear, and it's a SWAT gear, and he's an FBI agent in Hawaii who continually inspires me by all the things that he's doing. Edward, it is so great to have you on the show today.
Hey, Rob. How's it going, man? Aloha from Hawaii. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to have a good chat with you today.
Definitely. I wish I was in Hawaii, I guess, locked down with you. I mean, you're locked down in Hawaii. What have you been up to lately?
Well, the past 2 weeks, I have actually been literally locked down. Out in Hawaii, we have a travel ban kind of a situation out here to control the pandemic. That if you fly into the state, automatic 14-day lockdown. If you fly inter island from just going from like Honolulu to Kona, you have to kind of lock down for 14 days as well. So my past 12 days or so, I've been just kind of locked down. The great part about it is I've been able to do a lot of training on Zwift. So kind of fell in love with Zwift now in these 12 days.
So now, besides doing these triathlons and training, you're an FBI agent. And how long have you been doing that for?
It's going to be 21 years. I've been in the FBI. And I've been in law enforcement for about 29 years total. I was a police officer out here in Hawaii before I joined the FBI. And it's been a great ride. I've enjoyed it. Enjoyed it a lot. I mean, I enjoyed law enforcement, and I still bleed blue blood, basically.
Right. And now you have a cool thing that you do, and this kind of I remember we got connected not too long ago because you were looking to put together a law enforcement memorial there in Hawaii, and one of the things you needed to do was raise funds, and one of the ways that you did that was racing in your full gear. Now I know the pain of that. Tell me more about the purpose that really drove you to be able to do that at Kona.
Well, actually, it's ironic that you said that because I got this idea. Well, actually, when I returned home, I was stationed in the mainland for a while, and I got stationed back in Hawaii. When I got back here, I found out that, my previous station, of course, was Washington, D.C., with all the memorials and the Law Enforcement National Memorial. Got back here, I found out there's no police memorial. And that year, in 2012, I got into Ironman Kona, and I was doing it. And lo and behold, I see this guy in a fire suit there doing the race. And I was like, holy smoke, what's going on here? And then, I found out about you and what your purpose was. And I was like, hey, that's a great idea. I wonder if he'd mind. And remember, I reached out to you before I started doing it.
Yep.
Hey, dude, we don't have a memorial here. I need to draw attention to this cause. So, I basically did the police version of what you were doing. And it worked, over the course of about 2 or 3 years of me racing in the gear, with the SWAT gear, I was able to raise enough money to get a memorial built in Honolulu, and we also have one here on the Big Island now.
That's amazing. It just really proves that passion can actually drive something farther than, just the thought of it. It's like that passion to action. And what did it mean to you to be able to get that for your fellow officers through, it's a lot of pain. But what did that mean when you were able to finally get that memorial?
It was a very satisfying feeling, as you know. I mean, it's training in the gear. I mean, the race itself, Kona, all the other races that like you and I do, and like for example, you've got a world record. You've done so many. It's a lot of pain. It's a lot of pain. So, that day when I actually found out that we were able to get over that threshold to get enough money to build a memorial, it was so satisfying. I mean, it was great. And then one of the moments that actually caught me the most was when we actually built the memorial. We were at the ceremony, and one of the daughters of one of the fallen officers, who I knew a ways back. I mean, I have like 8 or 9 friends I knew very well that are on the wall right now, and she basically told me, she heard what I was doing until she saw and actually witnessed what I was trying to accomplish. She said, I really thought that somebody forgot about my dad's sacrifice. And seeing you do that and having this memorial built just reminded me that he wasn't forgotten. And that just like hit me right there. And it actually carries me more now that the memorial is built, and now I'm just kind of still doing it to raise awareness. And when there's an officer that goes down to help the family, it keeps me going, because that was a very pivotal moment to me, because I could have just stopped right there. But no, it keeps me going to this day.
And on Facebook, when you go to follow you on Facebook and Instagram, every time an officer falls in the line of duty, you do a run. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so I've teamed up with Team Blue Line, which is another organization that raises money for fallen officers and to help officers' families when they're injured. This guy named Chad Wallace, he's the CEO of that company, kind of started this thing. I actually started doing it out here as a reminder for on the anniversary of Bronson Kaliloa, when the officer was killed out here, and he started doing it as well nationwide. So we kind of like, hey, it was Chad's idea, of course, that we started doing it, that every time there's an officer killed in line of duty during a week, that Wednesday we do an honor run. So what I've been organizing here in Hawaii is every Wednesday when there's a line of duty death, no matter where in the country, we do a run. So like yesterday it was a run, and we honored 6 officers that were killed. And it's a sad thing, because in this world right now, there's so many things going on, the pandemic, all these other protests and all these things. People are forgetting there's still a lot of sacrifice going on. Not only officers. I mean, we were just chatting about it before we got on here. The fires, on the West Coast, those wildfires, there's firefighters out there that are getting hurt and injured and killed fighting those fires, and people seem to forget all that.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Being in the service, we understand the sacrifice that everybody makes, and like you said, I think you put it perfectly in the fact that it's not just the sacrifice of the officer; it's the sacrifice of the family too. And not forgetting the family and having them understand that, they're not alone in the struggle that they're going through. You did another race that really created some impact over mountains in gear. Now, I wouldn't do that, but you chose to. 82 miles over the mountains in gear. Tell me more about that adventure.
Well, there's actually a couple of other officers here that starting with this honor run we've been doing, that they've been starting to run in the vests and stuff like that and run in gear. So one of the other officers and I were like just chatting one day, and we was like, it would be very cool if during police week, and to raise awareness and continue to raise funds, we would start from the Kona side police station and run over to the Hilo police station where the memorial is. The problem with that is you have to run over Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa, the road that goes right between the island, which is, I think, was like 7,900 something an elevation we have to accomplish over.
Jeez.
I also made a little bit of a mistake there. I thought it was 74 miles, 78 miles, and it turned out to be 82 miles. So
that's a little difference.
Yeah, just a little different. Darn Google. The math was a little off. I miscalculated.
So should have went to AAA instead.
Extra, yes, and we pulled it off, but it was a long one. It was hard. I mean, it was basically three marathons, and most of which went uphill. So it was a rough run, but it was so much fun. We had a lot of support. We had guys coming out there, bringing us, water and food, and it was was a great 30 hours of running.
30 hours. Wow. And it's not like a, was it raining? Because most of the time on Hilo, it's on that side, it's raining.
Yeah, well, it caught rain. You know, Kona side, as you know, is hot and humid and stuff like that, and sticky. So that was nice going the first part. But as we got over to the mountain, yeah, it was very cold. I mean, it does get cold over here in Hawaii. I think it was like 38 degrees when we were at the apex over there. And then
that's
started
freezing.
getting the rain on the way down. Oh, it's cold. It's very cold. I mean, burr. You know, you go in the 60s over here and people are wearing parkas. So, you know, getting down to the 30s and 40s, it was very cold.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So myself and this other young officer, we both did the run together, and we were able to raise funds for the Memorial Foundation. So it worked out really well. It was a lot of coverage we got out here in Hawaii about that run, and it was fun. And like I said, the community really supported it. I mean, it was a long journey, and a lot of people came out to support us. So it was pretty cool.
I love it. And you and I are going to do an adventure. I think it's actually going to be slated for next year. You and I will talk offline a little more about it, but that'll be pretty cool. I mean, it's fun to be able to meet. I think this is the great thing about pushing yourself to inspire others, is being able to meet individuals like yourself, and then the collaboration. Tell me more about, we talked about your greatest, the story of you, but at the same time, what does it mean to be a father? How did that change your perspective on kind of moving forward and the life lessons that you wanted to teach?
But especially, and as in everywhere, but Hawaii, really culturally, our ohana is very important to us and our family, and it's perpetuating that forward. And call the word kuleana in Hawaii, which means responsibility. And as a father, I have a young son who since he was barely could walk, wants to be a police officer. You know, so I want to show him, give him examples of, you know, how to be responsible, how to give back, how to, you know, be a role model. And it was important to me to do that for my son and show him as well, so he can perpetuate that forward, carry it forward when he gets older. I mean, I've tried to, you know how it is. You try to talk the kids out of stuff, you know, like my family, you know, in Hawaii, we're either policemen or we're firemen. That's just how growing up, my dad tried to talk me out of it. He's like, no, you know. And so the compromise was I went and became a federal agent. That was my compromise. But, you know, I started off as a cop. I don't see it happen any differently for my son. As much as I want to try and talk him out of it, he's going to want to do it.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. So basically, I'm trying to set an example for him. And I have a lot of, other cousins and younger cousins and family members that also do look up to me as well. And it's a responsibility to show and tell them to guide, you know, the next generation and importance, because some of that is being lost nowadays. You know, I see it that people are so caught up in their lives because this is a tough time that they forget these other little things that they could do on the side. And, you know, I've been able to have a successful career and still be able to do something for my community and for my fellow officers. And I think it's important to set an example.
Well, now, what does it mean? Like going into the FBI, it's not an easy task, and there's a lot of different things that you do within the FBI that push the limits of your mental strength and your mental abilities. How, throughout your 21-year career in the FBI, did you kind of manifest it into something that was, you know, you're able to give that to others, to give that to rookies, be able to handle yourself better in situations? What were the things that actually made you be able to do that?
Oh, I think it's my upbringing. I mean, I come from a line of public servants, and it's just in my blood. And I just was instilled on me by my dad about being responsible, about doing what's right, about, you know, as you become a leader in no matter what organization or company you're in, you're kind of obligated to teach and mentor and build the next generation. And I think that's part of what drives me to do things and kind of share. And part of why I try and do what I'm doing too is, I'm trying to share the importance of physical and mental health. Guys
Right.
feel much better with themselves if they're out there working out and doing things. And with our stressful jobs that we both have, it's not easy, but that's like an outlet, and it's a healthy outlet. And that in turn makes you to be a better person and more able to deal with stress and stressful situations. I think that just all just came together. And as the more I got into, when I was a young officer, and then starting even in the FBI, I was more into weightlifting. Thank goodness there wasn't what do you call CrossFit back in the day. I would have gone into that and hurt myself. I went to and I'm glad I've done it because I'm 51 years old and I'm still more than capable to run a marathon with a 35-pound vest on me and be none the wear for it, but I'm fine. And I attribute that a lot to discovering this endurance lifestyle and just being mentally strong and seeing the benefits, seeing the big picture. I think that's a lot of things people forget sometimes is, they have an immediate struggle, but if you keep your eye on the big picture and the prize, you can find your way mentally and physically to get through things.
I love that. I think that's so true. And, I want to go back to the word ohana. That's a word that I use all the time too. It's one of my favorite things. Tell me what that means, because it's so much more powerful than just family. It has such an empowerment phrase to it, because you're not just in the fire service or not in the police department, but not just in the family. But what does ohana mean in Hawaii?
Ohana is, it's hard to describe sometimes. I mean, in Hawaii you have your immediate family. Then you have an extended family, and I think you understand that, and you call that Hanai family. And all of that, that's part of your ohana. It's your personal support system. It's your personal, it is your family, of course. Ohana literally means family, but it's so much more. I mean, Hawaii is a place of aloha, another word that I'm sure everyone's heard of before. But that is really something that's believed by us and is instilled by the kupuna, the grandparents, and your family. That it's like kuleana. It's an obligation. You need to take care of your ohana. You need to take care of your family. You need to, show everyone. It's a responsibility to share that with everyone and treat everyone like a family. I mean, I know you've seen it when you come out here, and it's how it is. When you see, like, out of respect, and again, this is all comes into ohana. When a younger kid from Hawaii befriends or is introduced to a friend of his dad, it's not, Mr. Robert. In other words, it's Uncle. It's Uncle Rob. You're gonna come out here, you're gonna be called Uncle Rob. My son will call you Uncle Rob. That's how we're brought up. It's because you're considered family. You're considered part of the ohana. You're automatically accepted. And that's kind of like a thing in Hawaii.
I love it. I think it's such a powerful word and a powerful message that I can't, I love when I come over there, because you do feel like you jump into the family. And, from watching you do all the things you do and that continue to do, I can't thank you enough for being part of that, the positive side of what sports can do for people, as well as being the positive side of being a human being. So I want to thank you for doing that. Thank you.
Appreciate it. I mean, you said like you start the ball rolling, brother. I'll say that. And continue on, kept on doing it, and it's kind of hard especially for me, because with my profession, for who I work for, they really really can't be open and out there that FBI guys doing this, and I mean, it's just we're really not allowed to do that kind of stuff or fundraise and stuff. So I just did my action speaks louder than words. I didn't say, if you look back at all the way I fundraised or done things, I've never said a word really about what I am or what I do. I just went out there and did it and tried to inspire. And same token, like I started my own race. Same thing. It's not about me and my profession. It's about the cause and healthy living and promoting that great lifestyle. And it's worked very well.
I love it. I love it. Edward, I can't thank you enough for being on today, but before you leave, I do the same thing with every single guest that comes on. I've got 3 questions for you, and then I have a rapid round of questions for you. So are you ready?
Uh-oh. Yes, let's do it.
It's not an interrogation. You don't have to worry about that. All right, here we go. First question. First question. What is one thing you haven't done but is outside your comfort zone?
Well, one thing I haven't done yet. I want to do, I'm sure you've heard of this race, Epic 5.
Yes.
I want to do that race, and I want to do it in gear too. I mean, that's bad. I mean, there's that 50 guy named the Iron Cowboy that's done something incredible himself, but it's so Hawaii centric. Epic 5, 5 Ironmans, 5 days in a row on 5 islands. It's something that here is like legendary too. So that and an Ultraman, those are 2 of the ones that I'm kind of like eyeing in the distance there as a possibility.
I like it. I'm not going to guarantee that I will do the Epic 5 with you, but I've been eyeballing it too. So I've got a lot of LBs to lose before I do that one.
Yeah, that usually helps out a lot. I know the feeling.
It does. Yeah. All right. Here's the second question. What is your favorite quote and why?
Oh, wow. That's kind of caught me off guard there.
I love it. I caught an FBI guy off guard.
Yeah, I didn't expect the cool one. That's a really good one. I mean, I can't even think of one right now. You caught me so much off guard here.
Wow. I love it.
Wow, yeah, that's a good question. I mean, there's so many great quotes out there, and wow. You know what? I really can't think of one, to be perfectly honest right now. I'm kind of caught off guard. I mean, you have to give me a second on that one.
Oh, no worries. We'll go to the third one. And then possibly come back to the second one. So the third one, here it is. If you could pick to have coffee with 3 other people, they can be deceased, alive, or an animated character at a firehouse coffee table. So nothing is off the table when you're asking questions. Who would it be and why?
Oh, well, for one of them would be, I can just say off the bat, would be Michael Jordan. Reason being is
nice.
He's also one of my favorite athletes of all time, but also he's known for his ability to hit that switch and go to another level. And I'm just,
yeah.
I mean, you've seen many documentaries. I know you've seen probably seen The Last Dance. It's kind of gone into some of them, but I really would like to kind of like know more about, what drives him, what gets him to that point. I know he finds motivation in anything, and I'm that way. I don't know if I'm at his level, and I want to see if I'm missing something. I just want to, you always strive to be better, and that's one of those things. I actually have interest in him. Second, let's see who it is.
That's a good first one.
This might surprise you. Donald Trump.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I
want to know how this guy really is personally. I mean, I can't understand this man. I want to know. I just want to know. There's people that you meet there, you want to know. And this is the leader of the free world, basically. I just want to know what's going on with it. I mean, I would come there with a whole list to figure it out, but I have a curiosity factor of just be able to sit down with that man and just kind of have a conversation.
I love it. So Michael Jordan, Donald Trump, who's the third?
Third person. Well, then I'd kind of go a little bit more spiritual and go towards probably like Mahatma Gandhi.
Oh, this coffee house table has just gotten crazy.
Yep.
I love it.
I mean, the spirituality of talking to that man like him would be incredible.
Yeah.
So as you can see, I mean, besides the Donald Trump curveball, it's on the line of trying to figure out motivation and how to get to the minds of people that have done so well and are known to be so mentally strong.
I love it. All right, we're gonna go back to that quote thing. You think you have one yet? You know what? We're gonna hold that off, and I'm gonna pull it out some other time when we're interviewing or when we do our event, next year. So we'll have to. You gotta get one before then, though.
Yeah. Oh, I'll get one by then. Like I said, that one is like. There's so many great quotes out there, and there's so many mantras that people go by. So do I. That.
Yeah.
I really can't pick one right now that would be really good.
All right. Well, we'll go to the rapid round. Here, this rapid round, all I'm doing is giving you two things. You pick one. It's going to be stressful, but you can do it. All right. Paper or plastic?
Paper.
Soup or salad? McDonald's or Taco Bell?
Taco Bell.
Yes. Camping or hotel? Who doesn't? Camping. All right. Fly or drive?
Drive.
How about sleep in late or wake up early?
I'll go wake up early.
Run or walk?
Oh, run.
Partly sunny, partly cloudy.
Partly sunny.
There you go. Fire or water? Be careful on this one.
Ooh. That's a tough one. Hawaii boy, always gotta be near the ocean, the water. I'm gonna have to say water.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, here's the critical one. Use a porta potty or continue to run or drive to the next physical bathroom.
Oh, I'll use the porta potty.
I love it. All right, Coke or Pepsi?
Is this Coke Zero? Or
yeah, it could be Coke Zero.
No, just Coke Zero. Coke.
Perfect. All right, go big or go home.
Go big.
Edward, it's been an awesome time with you on this podcast today. I want to thank you so much for what you're doing as well as being on the podcast today.
No problem, and thanks for having me. It's always great to talk story with you, and look forward to future collaborations. It's going to be very good, very fun.
Oh, definitely will be. Well, thanks for joining us today on Forged in the Fires podcast. I'm your host, Fireman Rob. We'll talk to you next time.
Thanks for listening and supporting the Forged in the Fires podcast with Fireman Rob. Remember, don't forget to like and subscribe to this podcast, and please share this episode with a friend or family. To find out more about Fireman Rob or reach out about a question, go to www.firemanrob.com. Until next time, live your life forged in the fires.